Dude, I'm all over the world. I used to say that all the time. So now I'm just live. Like me and you are live together. Strick City Live is on. And man, I got a great show for you. Before we get started, you have to do exactly what I just did. I need you to share this, all right, with everybody you know. I don't want them to miss out on a great show tonight. Again, all you have to do is click a button, like support your brother. I did a Vlogmas video couple days ago, and it said, are you a supporter or a crab? All right. And the short of that is, we have the crab in the barrel mentality. When one crab starts to crawl out and the other crabs just reach back and pull them back down. Don't be the crab. Be the supporter. Hit like, hit share, then comment. Let me know you're on here with me, okay? That's all I need you to do. I have a great show for you today, and I got a surprise for my guest. So let me do this really quick, see if I can move these things around. I want to bring on my man Keith. Keith is chilling in his spot right there. Keith, I got a surprise for you, and I'm going to bring him on right now. And let me get him set up in his area. So right now, me and Keith Pelzer. Keith Pelzer is a Grammy Award winner. This is the second time we get a chance to talk. And man, he is an encouraging guy. He is the man with tons of stories, a lot of life, and he is a pastor, more importantly. But we were talking the other day, and I said, you know what? I wanted to do this. I wanted to bring somebody in to hang out with us that Keith would know, and that we could all hang out together. So I just brought him right in. He says, yeah, my wife actually hooked it up. She called him and said, hey, John, would you come to be on Strick's show? We're talking to Keith Pelzer, and he shows up like right on time.
That's
Keith,
my dude, man.
Yeah. So I wanted to surprise you, Keith. I actually got this thing going up right now. I know you got your camera sliding, man, and it looks great over there.
I'm gonna fix it. You want me to put it in one spot for you straight?
Let me see if I think I got it set up where all three of us can be on, and that looks good right there.
I'm gonna put it in one spot. I'll put it in one spot.
John, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm looking at Keith and all his props.
Hey, man.
I need some lighting and everything. I need to get my stuff together, man.
Man, Keith has it on point, man. Keith has it on point. Keith, did I surprise you a little bit, brother?
Yo, no, you did. You did. That's a good surprise, man.
So for everybody that don't know, me and Keith was on last week, and Keith is out of Philly, producer, songwriter, and in his story, he kept talking about this guy named John Roberts. Me and John Roberts hooked up, and then me and John Roberts hooked up. John Roberts went on the road, and then we had to do this work, and, John Roberts said, let me see if we can get John Roberts on the show and talk about what it was like growing up in Philly and the sound and what was going on and what it's like being, musicians right now, how it actually works with somebody that you work with. And then, me and Keith has kind of connected, John, like in the last 2 weeks. Like we got to be really cool. And so I appreciate you taking the time to kind of hang out with us real quick. So I want to start with this. John, do you remember how it started for you in Philly with being a musician and a drummer?
Yep, church. It started at church, boys, man. And I know Keith told that story already too, man. We got a bunch of church stories, but my dad's a pastor, his dad's a pastor, so yeah, that's where it all began, man.
That's what's up. That's exactly what Keith said. He's like, most of the musicians that you hear or heard of at the time were all like in the church. They would be traveling with ours and then come back and play on Sunday mornings at the church. Do you think that helped develop a particular style for you? That like a way for you to hone in your skills?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of our stuff we got from playing in church, man, and hearing the musicians that we looked up to playing gospel music and stuff like that, commission, and the list goes on, Winans, like we would be close to the musicians and the artists. So we were constantly learning, like almost like we were going to a university, man, but like in real life. And we were dealing with real professors, like, the greats of their craft and all. So, and we hanging out with them. We're learning from them. We're playing with them. And this is just all an experience for us at a young age.
So, John, some people would know like all these celebrities you played with, but like what in the beginning, like when you were in the church, was there like a recording that was done that you were on that people wouldn't know that was you, but that was actually you in that recording, like a famous gospel song?
Famous gospel song. Man, I didn't do that many gospel sessions. Like at 19, because I had done the gospel scene up until I left Philly.
I got you.
We were playing with Bruce Parham. We were doing all the Edwin Hawkins seminar stuff, like when they came to Philly. And me and Vidal, he mentioned Vidal. Vidal did it one year at my uncle Stephen Ford's church. So, I mean, we were always in the scene. We were playing with Richard Smallwood and Daryl Coley and like all of these people when we were young. Me and James Poyser were playing with Vanessa Bell Armstrong for a while.
Wow. Wow.
So, we were going through that whole loop. But as far as records is concerned, Bruce Parham would be one of them. And then like on the underground tip, Jehovah Chosen. It's a younger group out of Philly.
Yeah.
A lot of us were playing with. So that record, it didn't like go big, mainstream or nothing like that. But a lot of the underground folks knew of that group, and then Ty and all them came out after that. So it was like that movement of Philly gospel young artists, like with some funk on their stuff, like different approaches.
Right. Keith, what was it like for you? I mean, knowing that you're in Philly, you got, Jazzy Jeff, you got John, and these guys got to be really, really big. What was it like for you looking up to them and how their success kind of catapulted them on a national scene?
Actually, that helped me out because John and James were like the church musicians that were the celebrities. Like you had Craig King, but he wasn't like Philly guy. So when you look at your Philly guys, when they're on the road with people, you like, dang, they out with CeCe Peniston, but that's like we were all fans of each other. That's what I want to say. Like no matter who was older, who was younger, it was about who was the mature in the industry. Not that everybody else is ignorant. It's just that we knew how to learn from one another. Like there wasn't a hate. I'm not going to say it that it is now, but we didn't have that hateration like some people have. We had to like, we cheering like we was on stage. We cheering like, we was on the award show with John. Like we like, yeah, we was on stage. Like, so that whole thing, when they got out there, that kind of gave us the thought of, I can get somewhere beyond where I'm at, and our four walls at church was our serve spot. So everything outside of that, it was like, the sky's the limit. So we just kind of everybody just knew that they could go for it, but you always had that unity within the brotherhood of, being PKs and church musicians.
Man, we were joking a lot. We laughed a lot. And we're from Philly, so Philly people, we always ragging on each other. So, we joning each other all day long, like talking about somebody's clothes, like whatever. Like that's how close we were and still are. When we get together, it's like if you were around a bunch of us together, your gut's going to be hurting because we're joking the whole time and just laughing. And that makes the camaraderie really cool when it comes to us playing music together.
Did y'all ever have moments that y'all just, just had sessions, just the musicians like together, like shedding sessions?
Oh, yeah.
All the time. We started that whole little movement, really. Like we were younger, man. We were going to different churches and coming together and calling it a shed or whatever. Like, I mean, somebody gonna say he's taking the credit for the word shed. No,
everybody knows John's not taking credit for it. He's letting people know what we did. That was it.
I grew up in the era where we were just starting to do that kind of thing, like get together and practice together.
Gotcha.
So a lot of Philly, man. That was the thing we were doing at home. That was our way of having fun. Like. We were staying out of the clubs and stuff at that point, I guess, until we got older, maybe.
I got you.
And but then clubs got boring after a while. But John, remember, clubs got boring. It's like after a while, you like, all right, I don't feel like dancing. I want to make the music I'm listening to. You know what I'm saying? I want to make the rhythm and stuff. So
the party was at the studio. That was us recording.
That's crazy, John. Do you remember like your first breakout gig that you got like as a kid? Like this is the first thing that
it was jazz first. I was playing with Marcellus early. You know, I was
That's what's
playing in
up.
the orchestra with him. He was the conductor of it. But like famous kind of, you know, like hitting to the next level. Like when I moved to when we did the American Music Awards with Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, that was pretty huge.
That's
Because
what's
that was
up.
in '94. It was, you know, the only hip hop band on stage per se, you know. So, you know, Dick, what's his name? Dick Cavett was his name, the director. Uh,
Clark.
Dick, he did all of the TV shows back then. Was it
Yeah,
Dick Clark?
I think it's Dick Clark. I think that's what his
Yeah,
name
he
is.
was really cool, man. Like, cause he loved Will, man. I mean, him and Will was like super cool. So whatever, you know, Will and Jeff wanted to do, Dick was just like, whatever y'all want to do, we'll do it. You know, so that was a great experience. That was the year that big earthquake happened in LA, man. And we were in a hotel when it happened. We were in the Sheraton, man. That the whole hotel was moving like this.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. And Philly boys, we were like, yo, we getting out of here. That was funny, man. James was there, Big Charlie Mack, all of them was like, yo, I'm getting the next flight out of here. Yeah, right. Okay, we couldn't go nowhere.
That's wild, man. So I think this is so cool, man. I'm a little dude from Birmingham, Alabama, and I got like some Philly guys here that have made some major moves in the music industry, like working with different people, making sounds and being the sounds of the time. John, you're still like working all the time now. Like, has the pandemic slowed you down a little bit?
Man, we couldn't travel. So yeah, like all our dates out other places canceled.
Right.
You know, but and then I got nervous at one point. I was like, yo, all of my jobs are canceled till whenever, nobody knows when. And things just came through, man. I'm really blessed that things worked out even through this pandemic, man. So we were in the studio a lot. Everybody's recording because they're home. So they're like, yo, can you play on this? Like we're passing stuff around, finding ways to get budgets and take care of each other, all that kind of stuff. So it's been really cool, you know, like in a different sense. I don't, you know, look, man, I don't have to travel as much anymore. I'm kind of good on that. So
Got you.
I don't mind being home more now. You know, I'm 48 years old now, so I like going out sometimes and then come home.
Right. And I know you're out of Atlanta, right? So there's enough stuff to do in the city, right? You know, they got enough programs, enough events to do.
And Atlanta ain't closed, man.
I got you.
They out here hanging out, man. I mean, you know, you got to be safe and everything. And I've done some events where people are really distanced and everything, and people are wearing masks and stuff. But if I see a room and there's people in there and nobody's wearing a mask, I'm like, all right, I'm out of here.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why me and Keith was talking and we're doing a part two, Keith went back last time with a lot of his history and some of the things he's been able to do. But right now, John, like there's a movement with a new type of content. And really what we're doing right now is kind of like the new wave of making sure that, okay, if we're not recording, we're not traveling, like we still have to be relevant. We still have to put content out there, and the video content is really like the new move to stay relevant. And Keith has taken it to a whole nother level. I mean, you saw when you came on, and I'm actually going to go to your video, Keith, where I can pull you up full screen so people can see like your set.
I stopped everything, man. I told you I was recording something, and I looked up and seen the time, so it's
all good. Everything. Tell me about, like, Keith, what you're doing right now and the mindset behind all of the aesthetics in the room, how you put your lights together, what you're doing to stay connected from a content standpoint.
Well, you know, it's crazy. It's really back to something that John and I were both talking about, and some people that are on the feed. Philly cats are creative. Like, we find a way out of no way. We'll figure out how to be your best relevant in the time. So, for instance, like John has played drums, and I can't remember the exact time, but I'm sure I did it with Vidal, like where you didn't have a drumstick, so you use a screwdriver. You know, you didn't have the drum set was jacked up, so you put your jacket over it and you beat on that. You know, use a trash can top, and everybody's like, "What are you doing?" We took the same idea into the studio, and that's how we came up with that neo soul. We didn't create it. Again, disclaimer, like John said, we're not saying we created the neo soul movement, but whatever you want to call it, those are the records that we made out of Philly, and all of that had to do with all the musicians and everybody. What I'm doing now is the same thing. I look at how everybody else uses cameras, and I'm like, well, let me get the essence of how it works, and this is how I'm going to use it.
Right.
I never forget John Roberts was at it might not have been the first time he did it, but when I remember, we were down at Temple, and him and Jazzy Jeff and James was doing something, and John gets off of the drum set and walks around the drum set, beating the drum set and stuff, and everybody's like, "Damn, the drummer got up and walked around the set and was banging on the stand and stuff," and it was like the most phenomenal thing, and to us, it was just like, John's stupid. But the world looks at it like, yo, that dude is hot. So I do stuff where you just break the rules, So, most people are like, oh, I'm going to go live. And they just, sit in one spot. I'm like, all right, I'm going to shift the camera around for my broadcast. I'm going to do lighting my way. I'm going to use something that most people wouldn't use. I'm going to show the backdrop instead of using the green screen. And then people are like, yo, that's creative. I like that. But that's basically what I'm doing now, and it's I feel the way I felt back when the breakthrough happened the first time. And
gotcha.
So, a whole nother segment, a whole nother story. I went through a long 10 to 15 years of like darn near borderline depression. And nobody would actually believe me if I really told them.
Just in that time frame of trying to find your way back into, okay, what do you do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Because it's like I'm going to tell you what's hard. When you walk into people and they like, oh, you keep up, man, you work with this one and that one. And, the trigger name is like Will Smith. So you say Will Smith, you kind of good, It's like, man, you are Will Smith. And some people didn't know that was the brokest, most bitter time of my life. And you still got to stand before a congregation and preach to people. And, their toe hurt, so they need Jesus,
Right.
They back hurt, so they need a blessing. They need a good word today, Reverend, because the doctor said I got to eat less. And you kind of like, yeah, I'm like really down here. And I'm not going to commit suicide, but if I could, I'd kill myself. Like it was that bad at one point in time. So when this time came and we all got quarantined, everybody had to stop. I felt a new way out and, to say, let's get it started again. And the craziest thing is, soon as I started my Coffee and Conversation show, which John, ironically, it was my dad's birthday when I first did it. And I didn't realize it. I had planned to, and this is crazy, Strick. It was Diana Gladney that I was watching some of her videos, and it was the video where she said, you just got to push the button.
Wow.
It's never going to be perfect. In essence, what she said is it's never going to be perfect. You got to push the button and go. It's not going to be perfect. And I hit the button on my dad's birthday, April 24th. And then I reached out to my homies. John Roberts was at my wedding. He can tell you about that story. And he wasn't dressed up. And he wasn't dressed up for the wedding. And Jamar Jones played the organ. John, tell him why you didn't have a suit on at my wedding.
I don't know. What was I doing? I was in town doing something, but I don't know. I couldn't find a suit to get to you. So I showed up in some sweats, and Keith was like, come on, take a picture with us. Are you serious? I got on tuxes and gowns. You know that's love, man. They're gonna
get married. Come to the church.
I look like a straight bum, Strick. I was like, really, man?
Wow.
But that's love, man. And I was like, whatever, that's bro. I'm jumping in it then. Just don't use it.
That's funny. So John, have you spent more time with people doing podcasts, doing people inviting you on shows and doing more talking now during the pandemic?
Oh yeah, of course. Especially in the beginning, everybody was sitting around. It was like, yo, you want to go live?
Right. That's all you could do.
And then it turned into a thing, like on Zoom, we've been sharing a lot of great information between people and stuff, like on Another Tip business-wise. And also, it's been really cool, out in the middle of a pandemic, where things are all kind of messed up, there was some good that came out of it as well.
Well, I definitely feel it on my side. I mean, I think that, and the reason why me and Keith have been talking is it's important that you stay ahead of the times because it's here. Like if this continues, the numbers are going up. I mean, the numbers hadn't gone down yet. Like we can't say that in January things are going to be back to normal. We can't say that in February is going to be back to normal, where people are really being able to get out and travel. So what are you going to be able to do and stay in front of people? And there you got to be innovative with it. Zoom is like those small groups, and Keith was talking about his experience with Clubhouse. He ain't invited me on yet, but you know what I'm saying. Those things are popping up.
You need an invite for Clubhouse? You need one?
I hadn't got in yet. I hadn't got in yet.
Did you get your screen name?
I didn't. I hadn't did anything with it. I'm bringing it up because I know it's another way that people are starting to communicate. But for me, dude, I'm like in front of this camera, probably 4 or 5 hours a day, doing something, and it is one of those things that if you miss the wave, I don't care what it is. If you're a musician, if you are a pastor, like if you're not in front of people this way, you're gonna miss it because more and more people are just going live, and then I gotta go back to Keith. If you're not doing it right, you could miss out. Look at that picture. You know what I'm saying? He looks good over there.
Y'all making me feel bad. I got to go get a whole set now.
Hey,
I'm telling you. In my living room. I need to turn some lights on in the back.
I'm telling you, man, Keith knows how to do it. Keith, tell me about you, because you got like 3 cameras in the room right now.
So you know what? And I don't want to get this away too quick. Actually, I got to jump on so Pennsylvania Eastern Keystone Baptist Association. I know that's big, but it's like a preacher platform that we're in, like an association that helps churches out and from our community. But on there, we're helping pastors out, and one of the main things that people don't think about is investment. And when I say investment, like you take a John, he's invested in his drums and his career and stuff like that. So this is something where your name John Roberts, you just use your cell phone and go on. Nobody cares what he looks like. He's John Roberts.
Right.
Somebody like me, you need a little edge to it. So you got to up it a little something. You got to throw better lights and stuff on. But one of those things, if you ask me, I figure out a way to do it for cheap. And so if you want to get creative, like what I was actually going to do for my Vlogmas was talk about being creative. And so when you hear content creators, here's the problem I want to say, and you're going to feel this. Content creators now, they call themselves content creators, but they get content that was created for them to put together. So there's a point where you ask yourself, where's your creativity if all you're doing is cutting and pasting? If that's creativity, okay, but it's like the same thing with music. Video is about to jump to where music was. Where music was people were creating it from scratch. They were creating it. Even if you weren't the best musician, you created it from scratch, which you could, and then you put it together. Or in your creativity, if you couldn't do it, you associate yourself with somebody who knows how to do it, rather than just snatch something here, snatch something there. And so what I've been trying to do is to be a content creator and give my best self into what I'm doing now. And in that, I thought about it and said, hey, the news station, or when I call these my Obama shots. So when you see me with a slider and stuff, and when I do my sermons on Sunday, I'm inspired by however they do Obama on camera. President Obama, my president, they show that, shout out to Biden now, but President Obama, the sliding that they do, I always loved that. And I was like, how do I achieve that at home? And so that's what I started to do.
So John, what he's saying is he's not doing the cell phone thing anymore. He's got a camera that's set up on a mechanical slider that just slides. You got to activate it, Keith, so he can see what we're talking about. And this is one of the things that for me just takes it to a whole nother level. Like it's just kind of like if you're in the studio, like what's going to kill him is when you take it to the next level in the song. John, do you see this?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Look, John's used to that. He gets filmed all the time. They do instructional videos. He got cameramen that love him. You know, they show his foot stomping, his hand hitting over here. He knows how that is. He just don't have to do it.
Y'all got it going. It's cool.
This is some stuff, man. So I tell you what, man, Keith, I appreciate what you do for the community and teaching people all the aspects of what you're doing now with content creation. And John, man, you did not have to take the time to come on today, dude, but I definitely appreciate it, man. I definitely appreciate it.
Let me know. Yeah, shout out to your wife, Kim. She hit me and let me know that y'all were talking. So that's cool, man. I appreciate y'all bringing me in so I could holler at my homeboy for a second. We don't see each other much like we used to, so it's just good to see him and everything. Next time it had to be in person, Keith.
Oh no! Listen, it'll be in person. And listen, you know, Strick, something that John's not going to really say, man. It's like, I mean, this dude hung out with Stevie Wonder.
I know.
You know, George Duke. You start naming people, you be stuck, man. And John, you didn't tell him about the In Vogue gig that you had.
Oh, I mean, I didn't have the gig, but I did the hit song.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, John, do you have like people that just keep up with all the stuff that you've done, like the accolades? I know by now you're just like, man, that was years ago. I don't know. That money's been spent.
Man, at some point I had to go back and like look at the things that I've done, you know, just for the you know, for people's information purposes and stuff like that. And I have like an assistant manager. Her name is Denise, really cool. And she makes sure that she holds everything that I need. Because I mean,
right.
I'm pretty, you know, organized and stuff like that too. But sometimes I get thrown off with the other stuff, and I just let her, you know, handle the other side of it. But yeah, man, just going through all the stuff that I've been doing for 30 years, man. And I just say it's all a blessing, man. You know, it's like straight up God, bro. And I'm just happy to have done all of these things with so many great people, you know?
That's what's up, man.
John should be, I know he doesn't have time now, but John is a guy that I would look at and say, dude, you get that iPhone 12 and just start vlogging. You don't even have to post it. Just document it and have like a straight month of talking about your history. I mean, this is crazy right now. Like somebody like John, man, he's got. So here's my shout out to all the musicians, because every musician's a producer too that I know from Philly in some way, shape, or form. I believe they're a producer as well. But the thing is, people like John, and I'm gonna stop at Brian Moore, John and Brian. These two guys, I love these two to death, and they've been so many places and done so much close age to me. To the point that if they start telling their story, it's going to really help somebody. But now, because of all the equipment and stuff we have and the ability to do it in a cell phone, it's almost like just wake up in the morning and just talk about a trip or something that you've done and just put it in a folder. And one day, like a grandchild or somebody's going to listen to that. And that's going to be a story that's really going to help somebody out. You know, I think my last 15 years is a bigger story than the Grammy, than the Big Willie Styles album, than the first Words and Sound. That space in there is really what's going to be the bigger story.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. John, have you ever thought about that? Doing like capturing some of the activities and some of the moves you make where people normally wouldn't get a chance to see?
Yeah, I'm not into all of that. Like always documenting stuff. And, you know, I live my life, but I don't always have to pull my phone up and like film and stuff. So that's just not me. But I mean, I do try to make sure I document some things that I know are going to be important later on. You know what I'm saying? Some people are good with that, but me, that's not my lane.
Right.
That's why people like me and DJ interview people like you.
So we can pull it out of you. We can pull it out of you.
I'm gonna get some lighting and everything all up there, and I'm gonna just sit back here and just do this, like, you know. No, man, this is last minute. I'm glad I could come on here and talk with y'all, man. It's always cool to talk with some cool brothers that's doing great things, man. It's like, because, you know, the other side isn't that good, you know, so it's good to see the positivity on this side, you know.
And there's so much that is going on that is positive, John, man. I mean, come on. the pandemic, yeah, it slowed some things down. I'm always telling people my story is, yeah, 2020 could be rough. I've had a good year. But 2021, 2022, man, if y'all don't get ready for what's about to happen when this economy opens back up, like when, John, think about when you can really start gigging again. Everything that was canceled in 20, they booked for 21. So you're going to have dates on top of dates.
Y'all taking that vaccine?
That's a good question. I'm gonna let y'all get in line first. Y'all can tell me. I saw an article today that said 6 people died in the last the final stages of the testing. And I'm not trying to spread any kind of bad news or anything like that, but I want people to be safe. I'm struggling with it right now, and it's not as bad as other people have struggled with COVID, but, because people are dying from this thing. Like they got it one day, the next day they're gone. So, depending on how it affects your body, I get it. You want to be protected.
It's all about that immune system. I had it in January, man, before they really announced it. I know I had it. I didn't go get tested and all that kind of stuff because nobody knew what COVID was then anyway. We had just played at Blue Note in New York for like 4 nights.
Gotcha.
2 shows a night. So Blue Note's not that big, so a lot of people coming in and out of there. You're hugging, you're kissing, the whole nine. By the time the end of that week was over, man, my body just shut down. I was like, yo, What the hell is this? It was worse than like a regular flu. And I was like, something weird. But my immune system beat it, man. I took all the herbs and stuff that I needed to take, all the elderberry, all the garlic, all the ginger, everything. And, it beat it. What do you say, Keith?
I said every herb, all the herbs.
All of them.
I'm messing with you, man.
Yeah, but I beat it. So, but for some people, the immune system isn't as strong. They might have pre-existing conditions that's all connected with that. So it gets worse that way.
And I also believe that people that are exposed to it, like initially more amounts of it, it just depends on how deeply you're exposed to it. Like, for us, it's been more like a sinus issue. Nothing bad, but it went through our house because our son is a basketball player, and you got COVID going on while we playing basketball. But I couldn't tell him, like when all the other kids were playing, that he couldn't play at the school.
Right.
So guess what? One of the kids on the team had it. He got it, and guess what? He brought it right home. And we tried our best to quarantine. Yeah. Things have been well so far. So we're hoping in another day or so to get back to 100%. But again, it goes back to, even in the midst of that, you can still communicate through technology and not put anybody at risk. Like, we don't all have to be together to talk and chop it up when you can just turn the camera on.
Yeah.
But Keith,
this year's the most that me and John talked in a lot of years, man. Ain't that crazy?
Well, I mean, we did your show. That was it. That was good too.
But I'm saying, like, that was a lot of good catching up, man.
Right.
Yeah.
The stories,
man.
You telling about the one in church? You telling about the one in church when we were playing? That one church?
And you cussed me out? You talking about that one? Hey, listen, Strick, look, because Strick's a preacher too. He cussed me out in church, man.
You gotta tell the story, Keith. What happened?
I'm gonna turn my light on.
So this is what made me a great producer with my timing and everything, because I never knew how to keep timing because I wasn't as musically trained as John and James and everybody else. So John would do solos and stuff, and Ernest Miller, our boy Ernest Miller, would give John a solo, and we'd be doing a song, and he'd be like, boom. And so John would start playing the beat, and I'm playing, and John would go, and I'm kind of like trying to catch him. He was like, yo, count, motherfucker. He's like, just count, damn it. And I'm just like, what? He was like, hit the 1, 2, 3, count. And I'm sitting there like, ever since then, anytime I play with a band, whatever my part was, when that solo came up, it's like, you know how the Matrix was? It was like, I went, boom. And I would just stay there like, I ain't care what was going on. So you know how the sound sounds like you go in the water, it goes, and then it goes, shh. So I learned how to count, man. I learned how to count. I learned how to do it, man.
Hey, it takes things like that, man, to kind of help you, especially when you got your, some boys that really know what they're doing. They'll push you into your greatness. They'll definitely do it.
You tell them about the night that we were driving back from that workshop.
Listen, so you ready for this one, Strick? This is
you got time. You got time, Strick.
Yeah, I got time. Go. Come on. No, we good.
Oh my gosh. So my dad had a truck. God rest his soul. My dad had a truck. It was a K5 Chevy Blazer, and because we were church boys, my dad I would hold my dad's truck over the weekend, and drug dealers would roll up on my dad thinking it was me, and they thought I was a hustler, but then they realized he can't be no hustler, he ain't gangster. But I had the truck like with the rims on it, tint windows, but I used to have the Holy Ghost on the front because it was a white truck. So we would ride around all the time. Me and John wanted to go somewhere. John was like, "Yo, man, we should go to this workshop, something, whatever." And I sat there, and I told my dad, I said, "We going out West Philly," and I said, "I'm probably spending the night at a buddy crib." We went to Harrisburg or something. We went to Harrisburg, but this is funny. We used to go just to play, for the most part. We went to play. That's how much we like music. And we went there, but it was like the dumbest thing was, I think it was an Easter weekend, and we both had to be back at our church on time. So, right. I know a story you talking about, John. I'm gonna tell the one. I'm gonna tell both real quick. So the one was,
make it shorter, man. You telling the whole.
I know what you're talking about. So that one that I was telling you, we came back real quick on the Easter Sunday morning, and I was going too fast, and the cop pulled me over, and I said, "Listen, we got to get home because our dads are pastors. We got to be at church for Easter Sunday." He said, "I'll write the ticket real quick." But fast forward, let me go to the story John's talking about. We're up New Brunswick. We're coming back home to Philly. I'm tired. John's tired. And I don't think he had license at the time. That was the problem. John didn't have his driver's license. So it's all on me. We got paid pennies for that gig. We should have got paid a lot of money. But we coming back, and we're listening to Hezekiah Walker something. I fell asleep. And I darn near killed me and John. So a part of the funny but not funny story is God is a way maker. He's a keeper. John banged his knee up. I mean, it could have been the end of his drumming career. It could have been the end of our lives, but God is a keeper. So, yeah, we've been through stuff. I'm sorry, John. I know which story you're talking about now. Yeah. Right on the turnpike. Yeah.
The moral of the story, he almost killed you, huh?
Yeah, basically. I did. I almost killed both of us with a gospel song playing.
Man, and I kept looking over and telling him, "Keith, you want to pull over, man? Like, just you want to get some rest or something?" "No, I'm good. I'm good, man.
I'm good."
I pass out. I go to fall asleep. Next thing you know, I look up. The car is going to the left, all the way into the island. I'm like, "Keith!" He's up against the island. Oh man, that car was so messed up. I was worried about your dad being mad at us messing up the car.
But look, tell them about the grace of that whole story, though. Tell them about the grace of it.
Man, we could have died that night, bro, for sure.
But my pop, though, his character, your pop, the characters of our dads.
That part too.
Dude,
they were just making sure we was good.
My dad, I came home. John was like, "Yo, man, you all right?" And if you notice, Strick, I'm gonna show you how much love we got. Notice John said "we." You hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear when he said "we"? He said, right. "Yo, we gonna get in trouble," or "we messed up." So that's the kind of love we have. So I get home and I go upstairs. I was like, "Dad," I woke him up and I said, "I had an accident." And he knew it was me and John. We went out upstate, whatever. He said, "Y'all all right?" I said, "John should be cool." And I didn't want to tell him like John knee all jacked up. So my dad came outside, looked at the car, and he's like, "You all right?" And he said, "All right, go to bed." I swore my dad was going to kill me.
Wow.
I swore he was going to kill me.
That's all we were worried about.
Yeah, I was just like, "Oh, it's a wrap, dude. Like, it's a wrap." And what I can say is that truck got fixed. And before you knew it, we was running up and down the highway to gigs again.
Wow.
Kept going.
Your
And
dad's
so
a great man. I loved your
yeah.
dad.
So I think that way when I deal with my boys, when I
Mm-hmm.
deal with my two sons, man, anytime they do something, I think about the grace that my dad gave me. And it really trickles down into some things. Life matters more than things, you know.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Dude, ain't nothing like chopping it up with some friends, right?
Yeah.
And especially with people that's got like some time together like y'all two, man. I guess the entertainment business has been good to you. And man, just to remember what it is to be a kid and to have a homeboy ride with you, dude, that's got to be deep.
Oh yeah.
And I'm
That's got to be
50
deep.
year, man, dude. John, you close to 52, right?
What?
Huh?
Don't be adding no years to my.
Yeah, he's trying to add them up there.
Look, when we were at James' birthday party years ago when James turned 50, I'm standing next to Jeff and I was like, all right, old heads. And Jeff was like, man, you right around the corner.
Why you always sound like Jeff when you talk? You sound just like Jeff when you do that, man.
I honestly, truly believe. Man.
You got him, huh?
He got him down, man. He sounds just like him.
Well, man.
I tell you what. Let me wrap this up real quick, John. What's next for you, man? Even though you're not doing that many things right now, I know it's something on the table. You recording somebody, or you in the studio? What?
Yeah, I'm constantly in the studio recording for people, but I'm looking forward to my family coming down here for Christmas, man. If they can make it, that's what I'm really looking forward to at this point right now.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That means
he got that new mansion on the hill. That's what it is.
I wish. Ain't no mansion yet. But I'm loving it though over here in near College Park.
that's what's up. ATL.
Yeah, man.
That's what's up, man. So how about you, Keith, man? I know me and you doing this Vlogmas thing, man. You got a busy schedule too. Making content every day.
Yeah, I'm recreating myself, man, in a sense. You know, the music industry sounds great, but I'm still not getting it right now. I just saw on my what's the thingamajig called Alexa, and it was just saying, you know, a couple people are testifying against like music streaming and a couple other things. So it's like it's still like messing up with creativity, in a sense. But I like to go with feel. So everything I've been successful at has come from a certain moment and a feel rather than chasing after something. And so once you have that feel and that moment, you know when to get it. And I'm excited about it. So I'm just taking this time with this platform to do the best I can in that, so that when the opportunity comes with something else, I'll just be on it.
No, dude, you're doing a great job with it, man. You're definitely a leader in how to do it right with the equipment, the lighting, the sliders. I mean, definitely much respect to you. Keep doing it, and I'm gonna be watching everything and stealing all of your ideas.
Hey, man.
There you go.
That's what's up. What you got, fellas? Man, this has been like really cool. Your boy Strick is hanging out with the Philly boys, you know? I should have been down with them. Who knows what I was doing back when they were, you know, in their heyday. Hey, if you like the show, this is what I need you to do. I need you to go to my YouTube channel and actually subscribe to the channel and hit the notification buttons. Please do that. Every Tuesday and Thursday night, Strick City Live is on 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And who knows who we're having next? I have maybe a secret I could tell you about this Be Love Inc. people. Y'all need to look them up. Who knows? They may be on the show next. Hey, thank y'all for watching tonight. It's been great. You know I love this, right?